to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. You've seen me and my wife doing quite a few reviews of anime on our channel, so I thought, well, let's mix it up a little bit. Let's actually go to Vancouver Anime Revolution. Perfect, thank you. Keep it weird, Vancouver. Keep it weird. It's a pretty impressive crowd, as big as Vancouver Fan Expo, I would say. Wii Fit Girl amiibo, 40 bucks, and I'm not going for it. Am I crazy? Hi there. Well, that was Vancouver Anime Revolution. First time we've ever been, and it was interesting. It was quite a day's experience. It goes on for a total of 3 days, I think, a Friday to a Sunday. That was the Saturday that we checked out. And what did we think? Well, what did I think, first of all? It was neat. It was quite crowded. I mean, a lot of people there. We've both gone to the Vancouver Fan Expo, which is kind of a similar event, but comic books and video games and movies and that. This was much more angled toward anime, and so I wasn't sure, was this going to be as big of a crowd, or was it going to be a smaller amount? They put it in the other convention center, not the big one that Fan Expo was at. There's footage in my channel. If you look for Vancouver Fan Expo, you'll see that was pretty big. And that was in sort of the big hall. This was round the corner across the street in the slightly smaller area, but very big crowd turned out, an amazing number of cosplayers. We're going to show some footage of all the different outfits that people were wearing, and Just an amazing level of costumes and work that obviously these people have been putting in, which is great. I gotta say though, without now we've been doing this anime thing for several months now, and clearly from my shirt, it's the old school Gatchaman Battle of the Planets direction that I'm coming from, but I'm learning Dragon Ball Z, and we're both finding out what Avatar: The Last Airbender and Initial D, all these videos that we've seen so far have been quite an eye-opener and a really enjoyable experience. But I don't know a lot of the characters that I'm walking past. I'm becoming aware of some, like I know the brown jacket of the Attack on Titan crowd. We haven't watched that one yet. We're going to, but it's hard when excuse me, when another girl in some kind of a Victorian school outfit walks past with pink hair, and you're thinking, I should know who that is, and why they're brandishing a sword. I feel like I should know about this. When you don't come from deep-rooted in anime knowledge, it was a little bit different from your average comic book or video game convention. I didn't recognize a lot of the characters. Having said that, it's a pretty wide open event for anybody. I mean, we saw Jack Sparrow again, and Darth Vader, and Iron Man were there, so I was like, okay, Iron Man's got anime. There might have been Star Wars anime at one time, but it's kind of just loosely based on popular culture, gaming, or cartoon, or what have you, or movie references. Some are blockbuster stuff. So that was all right. That was kind of neat to see. I don't know. What did you think, Dee? Like, did you enjoy yourself?
It definitely was interesting. I was expecting to see mostly anime, as you said, that, there was Jack Sparrow. There was even, characters from Borderlands 2, and,
Nightmare Before Christmas people.
Yeah, and Joker from and Harley Quinn and stuff like that. Even Bane was there.
There was a Lady Bane. Did you see her?
Yeah, it was, there was Star Wars characters there. And so it was rather confusing. I mean, I get going to Fan Expo, that is popular culture, and it encompasses anime, video games, movies, all of that that sort of popular culture. Whereas you would figure that people who are going to, the anime convention would all be anime.
True. Now, I mean, admittedly, there's a lot of cross-pollinization. Like in Portland Retro, I saw people dressed up as characters who weren't from video games, who were like comic book people. And I'm like, I mean, sure, there are video games of Spider-Man and stuff, but it seems like a lot of these events are not really tied to the subject matter anymore. It's like, hey, just come and have fun, and that was, sure, that's awesome. But if you're new to, like, what makes this, like, as with us, we're going to an anime convention. We've been to video game and comic book and movie. So what is it that's different about this one?
I don't know how many years the anime convention has been going on. We do know that there was one last year. And, it was fairly large. They had a lot of, rooms for panels, and, they also had the cosplay competition. But going into the dealer's room, there was a lot of artwork, which I'm not complaining about. It was very interesting to see, a lot of the artwork. Some of it, I even bought 2 posters that I thought were just, cool. But they weren't anime. They were, Star Wars based and video game based.
That's true. That was something that I noticed was much different than when we did Fan Expo. There were corners of the dealer room that had people who've done their own artwork and stuff. This place, whole aisles were floor-to-ceiling giant prints and posters and artworks and canvas things of stuff people had done.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, okay, so that's like, there's it seems like at this event, it's a lot more artists who are making their own images and selling it. Now, I've always wondered, okay, but you're using a lot of characters from licensed products and you're selling it for money. I'm not going to judge, but I just wonder, like, do Nintendo and Capcom and Lucasfilm know you're selling stuff with their images on it? And you're, whatever, it's good. It's good. No judgment. I'm fine with that. But yeah, that was something very noticeable with this event. Was look at all of the art. You can buy any character as in some action pose or something like that.
Yeah, which, as I said, some was just amazing, but as we saw Fan Expo develop, the very first year that we went, the both of us went, it was a much smaller dealer room, and there was tons of comic books and things like that, and as the years have gone on, because this is what we just did, the fifth one, I think, yeah. The dealer room has gotten much bigger, and there seems to be a lot more stuff there besides just pictures, artwork, comic books, things like that, and a lot more of people crafting things.
Yeah.
And
some nice stuff too.
Yes.
I saw those little hacky sacks of like the Star Wars thermal detonator.
Yeah.
Very close to buying one. That was cool.
And I would like to see more of that, at, the Anime Revolution. And, when we had gone to, the Portland Retro Gaming Convention last year, they started to have more interesting things that people had created, like, little, tea lights, with stands, around them. It could be, Star Wars related or anime related, or, even just kind of a Zen sort of, bamboo kind of looking thing. They also had individual like cards, greeting cards, get well cards, that were, could be Star Trek related or, Doctor Who related, just really cool, stuff like that. And, I would really like to see kind of more, more artisan sort of things come to Anime Revolution, not just the artwork.
Not just the painting and the
I'd like to see a lot more, people coming in, as you said, with like the hacky sacks and, even maybe doing, a set of cards of different anime sort of things, so that you could have, anime Christmas cards, anime, get well cards or birthday cards, all sorts of stuff like that. I think the possibilities are endless. It's just, a matter of, those people, getting in there and becoming part of the Anime Revolution.
True. One thing I will totally say for the dealer room folks, though, I was toward the end of the day looking around, and I saw a cup that I thought might have been kind of interesting. And I picked it up, but it knocked a Captain America Avenger cup or whatever next to it onto the floor, and it broke. I was very, very sad. I said to the guy, well, I guess I'm buying that one. And he said, no, you're fine. I said, no, I gotta, I broke the thing. I will totally pay for it. He's like, no, please, it's okay. It's like, you sure? I even gave him, I handed him a $20 bill. He said, no, I couldn't, honestly. It broke by mistake. I was like, oh, gee, I felt really bad. So, the people there are really, really nice. I love the folks in the dealer room. My hats are off to you.
Yeah, they were very, very friendly. There was that one dealer that had those very interesting wooden toys, the mechanical wooden toys, which was really hard to say no to. I thought, you know, both of us thought that they were absolutely amazing.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, so more of that stuff would be fabulous.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
By the way, another thing I had to worry about with this is because anime is very much, I don't want to say this and sound like an old man, but it seems like it's for the younger crowd. Like if you're not in your 20s anymore, it seems a little, it's easy to get lost with what the heck is going on. You know, it seems like it's something that has gained a lot of momentum among sort of a younger crowd. And I was thinking, are you and I going to be are we going to be twice the age of everybody else there? But I will say there were not only quite a few folks of varying age brackets there, but I even had one fellow recognize my shirt as I was walking down the hall. He was around my age or a little older, and he took one look at me and he went, "Transmute!" That was cool. I loved that. Also, there was a cruise ship in the terminal next door to where the convention center was. It was hilarious watching people on this cruise ship all standing out on their balcony watching this strange parade of blue hair and stiletto-heeled gentlemen and giant swords, and it must have been like, they must have thought, what on earth is going on here? That was hilarious to watch that too.
Yeah, I thought it was quite funny. And as the boat was pulling away, and that, you know, people in costumes and everything like that waving goodbye, you know, to the cruise ship, and you know, it was really cool that the crew, you know, the people on the cruise, even though they kind of were like, oh, what the hell is this? You know, we're also, you know, waving back. I thought that was, you know, that was quite fun. Was pretty, and especially that group of guys all in army fatigues with their guns and waving their guns and everything. That was very funny. Yeah.
Now, I think to conclude, a slight negative that I think I will say, and I'm sure you agree, is for the price tag.
Yes.
I don't know that we're going to go again next year. I mean, it was twice the price of Fan Expo. And without being huge into anime, certainly not experts or anything, and not being able to recognize what a lot of the characters are, there didn't seem to be a lot there for us for the price we were paying. We weren't going to go to the costume competition. I mean, I can appreciate the great work that these cosplayers did, don't get me wrong. But I can get that at Fan Expo for half the price. Or Portland Retro Show, or San Diego Comic-Con if I can afford to go there. That's a different price tag. But I mean, the point is that I was unsure that I would be getting my value for the price that I paid for my admission. And I didn't really get that. It was fun. It was a good day and to try it out. And, you know, as old farts watching anime, of course we have to go to the convention. Whether we'll go again next year, there would have to be a much greater draw, like some actors or some artists that we actually know and care about doing a talk or something. I'm sure that was going on this year, but without knowing any of these people, it didn't really gel. Or maybe not such a high price tag. And again, being that it's a little more a slimmer focus than just comic books and video games in general, maybe the organizers of Anime Revolution had to set the price tag higher. I would recommend they either lower it or get more of a reason for us to want to go next year. And I don't want to complain about it, but, you know, that is a negative that I would put out there.
Well, there is one thing that I would actually like to make a comment on, and I don't know if you noticed this, but there were a few posters up, not a lot, and I honestly think that there should be more. And I think that this should be adopted also at Fan Expo and be put around for people to see. And those were posters saying cosplay does not mean consent. Which I was very pleased to see, because I know that there are cosplayers out there, you know, who are basically saying, you know, dressed up, and they might be a little revealing. Just because they're dressed up does not mean that they give you consent to touch. So I was.
Could also refer to cameras. Like, I know that's a valid point.
Yeah.
I know that there's also a big discussion in the cosplay world of meaning that cameras are, I haven't necessarily given you permission to use my image and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of cameras, I think ours is getting a little low on juice, so we're going to wrap it up here. And until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.
See you next time. Bye.